Hi everyone, welcome back to my Animal Crossing New Horizons series. This is part 61. In the last episode, mainly we did actually decorate Flo's house. But if you remember, Freya was also leaving the island. This means we have a empty space and I definitely want to go ahead and try villager hunt again. But as usual, before we go ahead and get on with it, I definitely want to check out all of my daily tasks for today, such as going to resident services building as well as checking out the furnitures in Nook's Cranny. As far as the villager hunt goes, I'm actually looking for a duck villager this time. Hopefully we'll be able to find one. I am pretty excited about this since it has been quite a few episodes since the last time we went to a villager hunt. Anyway, hopefully I'll be able to find a duck villager at least by the end of this episode. Now, as usual, my pocket is pretty full considering that I am decorating my island. But since I am going on a villager hunt, I might have to clear up my pocket just in case I do get an extra item. Anyway, here is my outfit for today. But back to my pocket. I usually go ahead and get the extra furniture item that you do get when you go to these different islands. And I really like to go ahead and check out some new DIY recipes as well. So hopefully I'll be able to get them. But of course, before that, let's quickly go ahead and check out the recycling box right here. We do have a couple of cardboard boxes, but I'm not gonna take them, just this music stand. I think that's an item that was present in Freya's house and she probably just put it out here and left. Anyway, we do get a new item. As usual, I did check Nook's top. Once again, we don't really have anything special, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skip this out. I already have a lot of items that I did actually craft offline that are ready for decoration, so I'm not gonna be buying any more items anytime soon. Next up is Nook's Cranny. As you can see, we do have 3 more items, but I think I already have them, so I might not actually buy any of these. I also do not have enough belts and need to buy some other items in the cabinet, so I'm just gonna wait for this one. There we go. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy this colorful net. It's definitely been quite a few days since I really have not used any of these items. So I did have to come back here and buy them. But usually when I am using them, I like to have at least one extra item in my storage. This is mainly because I usually tend to play my game offline late at night, which means Nook's Cranny might not be open. So usually having an extra item in the storage helps a lot if one of these items do get destroyed. Either way, now that I am ready, I think I'll be able to finally go ahead and find a new villager for our island. Initially, I really wanted to have another wolf villager, but since we did just have one who left the island, I decided to go with another type. Initially, I wasn't really sure which type, but I remembered Molly, who was a villager in my previous island, and I really thought I might be able to invite another duck villager to my current island, which I have not done yet. So that's what we're gonna go with. Alright, let me go ahead and talk to, I think, Orville here. I think that's his name. Yep. And see what island we'll get. I'm actually pretty excited. There are a couple different islands that I have yet to visit. So hopefully I'll go ahead and get a chance to visit them. Alright, there we go. I'm also gonna go ahead and speed up this part of the video because to be very honest, this video is very large. I think it's over an hour, so I definitely want to kind of speed it up a bit. Anyway, here we are on our very first island and we have Leonardo. Alright, not a duck villager, so I'm not gonna bother talking to him too much. Some point, I definitely want to have, unique villagers like him. But of course, I do have to refrain from just getting distracted with random cute villagers. Anyway, I did go ahead and come back to my island. This is my second trip for another new island. Here we are. And I never realized that this one was called Wilbur. Pretty surprising. This time I did go to a money island, which is pretty cool. Definitely always helpful to have enough bells. But here we have Astrid. I think we have seen Astrid before. The last time we did a villager hunt. It's pretty cool to see her here again. I also remember having Astrid in one of my previous island and she was super sweet. Definitely a villager that you want to have on your island if you have not had. She is a kangaroo villager and is pretty rare. She was the only kangaroo villager that I had for all of my previous islands, which I think I had around 5 of them. This one being the 5th. Once again, here we are. This is the 3rd island. Hopefully we do find a duck villager here. But of course not. Either way, I'm pretty excited to see Croc here because he was one of my starter villagers in my very first island. I definitely remember just talking to him all the time and he was like my best friend. I also had his photo back then, but it's pretty cool. I mean, I didn't see him after that, so I was a bit shocked. But here we are finding him in a random island. Of course, once again, I did have to resist myself from not calling him to my island, which I was so tempted to do. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead, collect all the fruits and see you guys soon. This time it's gonna be a 4th island. Hopefully it's not an island that we have seen previous. Here we are. I'm also actually going ahead and getting the unique furniture item that you'll get in each of these islands. I haven't really seen any DIY recipes yet, but I'm just gonna go ahead and collect them if I do find it. As for the villager on this island, I'm not sure. Where is the villager? Okay, but there he is. Pretty scary. I really thought that it was a glitch, but here we have Nox, which is pretty cool. Anyway, let me go ahead to the next island. Now I do have around 10 more Nook Mile tickets that I did buy. Hopefully I'll be able to find a duck villager within that. Here we are on our 5th island. And I'm just looking around for a message bottle or a furniture like this one. But I definitely have to come back here to go ahead and climb these cliffs. Once more, I think the villager is on the other side of this island. So definitely have to go down here. I really like villager hunting. Just because it's so exciting to kind of guess which villager you might see next. In this case, it's Eugene, who we have seen before the last time we did villager hunt, and he is as cool as ever. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead, do my thing and move on to the next island. To be fair, sometimes I do forget which villager I am really looking out for when I go through so many islands. In this case, we have a big villager and this one is Cody. Okay, this is actually the first time I'm seeing this villager, so there we go. I didn't really realize that we did have big villagers, but we do have them. Anyway, speaking of the villager hunt, let me know in the comment section what was your longest villager hunt and how much time it actually took for you to find that villager. Personally, for me, it is usually very short. I tend to kind of find my villages around 10 to 20 Nook Miles tickets. But I have seen people, trying to find a specific villager and taking a long time for that. Now, right here, I did find a duck villager, but while actually playing this game, I totally forgot about that. Like I mentioned, usually when I go to a villager hunt, I sometimes forget which villager I'm trying to find, and for some reason I never realized that I had a duck villager. I am so sorry, Mallory, I completely forgot about you on the island. Now, to be very honest, I did realize that I actually found a duck villager, but it was actually too late. I was on my island and just thinking about what I just saw, and I was too shocked. So yeah, this happens sometimes. In my case, it happened so early. I mean, I could have just gotten my duck villager within the first 5 tickets, but of course I completely forgot about that. Anyway, at least I got a floral swag. Is that what it is? Yup, there it is. Anyway, I would request you to go ahead and ignore the fact that I just found a duck villager, and we are gonna move on to the next one. Now, I think this is my 8th island, and I am super awake at this point. I'm just focusing in to make sure that I do find a duck villager. In this case, I actually found someone else, someone who I was trying to find before. It's actually Amelia, and I remember having her in one of my previous island. I definitely enjoyed talking to her, and it was really nice to see her here. But of course, I am focusing on a duck villager, so I am gonna ignore this one and move on to the next island. At this point, I'm really hoping I'll find another duck villager, just because we have so many of them, and I'm really not that picky. So let's see if we can actually find one. But right here, I did find Octavian though. It's pretty cool to see him here, since I did have this one in my previous island as well. But I already have a octopus villager, so I'm not gonna be inviting this one. Now, I really like playing Animal Crossing, and I definitely play this every single day. But there is one thing that annoys me a lot in this game, and it's the amount of dialogues each of these characters have. I mean, it's fine if you are going to one deserted island, but if you are continuously doing this for multiple times, the dialogues that you have with Wilbur and Orville kind of gets boring. I mean, it's not like we can actually skip dialogues in this game. You have to actually go through each and every one of them, and it's super annoying. But at least I'm not talking to the older version of Blathers, when he actually didn't have the museum and was just in a tent. Back then he had a lot of dialogues, which was just annoying, but at least now he does not have that much. For my last island, we did have Betty, and this one had Agnes. But since I'm not really looking out for these villages, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip it out. Although I did find a DIY recipe here. Unfortunately, it was not the one that I needed, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the next island. Now, I'm trying to keep a count of the different number of islands I went to. This one I think is the 12th one. Let's see which villager we have here. And ooh, right, here is another villager that I know very well. It's Phoebe from my very first island. I mean, she was the second starter villager that I did get. Super cool to actually see her here as well, but I'm not gonna be inviting her to my island. Alright, here we have a new DIY recipe. This time it's the dark lily wreath, which I think is pretty cool. There we go. I immediately moved on to my very next island, and let's see who we have here. Ooh, alright, we have Ken. I'm surprised to see him here since he was just at my island, but he is pretending to not know me, which is pretty bad. But of course, I did invite Sherry in his place, so that is why we are seeing him here. On to my very next island, we have another spiral water island. Right here, I'm seeing another new villager. This one is Roswell. Ooh, I really like Roswell here. Wish I could actually invite him to my island, but unfortunately I am looking out for a duck villager, so I do have to let him go. By the way, this is my 15th island. In between each of these island runs, I'm actually going back to the shop and kind of selling out the items that I don't need anymore, and keeping my pocket clean to make sure that I am able to pick up any random item I do find on these islands that I might need. Especially like the cherry fruits on this island, which I will definitely be collecting. Ooh, alright, if you see me kind of fall down there, I thought initially it was a tarantula, but I think it might have been a scorpion, which is pretty sad considering that I actually needed a scorpion, but never was able to actually catch one. But at least I did get the Nook miles for that, so I'm pretty happy about it. I think we'll be able to find more of these scorpions at night, which I'll definitely try to find. But here we have Cleo. She is pretty nice. I mean, she did get a bit concerned about me right there. But now that I have talked to her, I guess I could go ahead and just dig up some items, get all of these fruits, and go to the next island. Ooh, before that, let me quickly go ahead and open up this message bottle right here. Unfortunately, it had a recipe that I already knew, which kind of seems to be happening a lot, but I'm still happy that I am able to find at least a couple of them in between. Anyway, as far as I've seen the shadow right there, that is not a duck villager, but let's quickly talk to him. So this is Rex, who I think I have seen when I was going on a villager hunt from my previous island. But I personally think he sounded pretty cool. Right now I am on my 17th island and we have Octavian here for a second time. I mean, it's pretty cool to see him, but if I do find Octavian again before I find any one of those duck villages, I'm gonna go ahead and just invite him. That's it. It's usually quite rare to kind of find a villager for a second time under, 20 tickets. So if I do find him again, he is the lucky villager. I'm just gonna invite him. Here we are on our 18th island. Hopefully I will be able to find a duck villager here. I remember seeing Scoot on this island, who is a duck villager. Hopefully I do find him. But, never mind. We have a horse villager, Annalise. Pretty cool. I have never seen her before. Or never had her on my island. So it's pretty nice to see a new villager. At this point, it was over half an hour. And I was really kind of not sure if I would find a duck villager. But here we have our second villager who we had on our island. It is Peanut. And I would actually really like to have her on my island since we do not have a squirrel villager. But don't worry, I'm not going to invite her. Coming up to my 20th island. Seems like we don't have any trees. At first at least, but we do. And we have another new villager that I've never met before. Let's quickly talk to this one. Ooh, alright, Bengal. Pretty nice. But nope, I am just gonna go ahead and go back. Once again, I ended up clearing out my pocket and getting some more of these Nook Miles tickets. Since I did actually spend all of my 20 tickets that I actually bought initially. Here we have a mouse villager. I think it's a mouse. This is Rod. We did have Bella on our island, so I'm not going to be inviting Rod here. I'm really hoping at this point that I'll be able to find a duck villager at least under an hour. But I must say, it is pretty cool to actually get all of these items and kind of look around a bit in different islands that are available. And I think it's pretty fun. Here we had another one, but not what I was finding, so I went ahead and moved on. On the 23rd island, we have Phil. Very cool. I'm actually finding a lot of new villages in this time, rather than the last time when I did go for a villager hunt, so I guess this is nice. Let me quickly go ahead and go to the next one though. Now, I forgot to mention this, in between the last island and this one, I did find a fossil door plate, which I think is pretty nice. Ooh, okay. I see a scorpion and I definitely want to catch it. Hopefully I do not embarrass myself and get hit again. Which I did. No. This is the third scorpion that I'm missing. All three of them I actually got hit even before I could actually swing my net. So I'm pretty bad at catching insects. Hopefully I'll be able to kind of get better in it. But other than that, we have a wolf villager here who is Sky. I think we had Sky in one of my previous islands. I'm really not sure if it was Sky or another wolf villager, but there was only one of them, so it's pretty cool to see this one here. In the future, if I do have a chance of inviting another wolf villager to my island, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Here we are on, I think this is my 24th or 25th island. And we have Ali. Alright. Another new villager that I have got to know today. Quickly moving on to the very next island. We have another one of those islands where you'll be able to find a lot of rocks. And this one has a duck villager. Finally found Ketchup here. That's pretty cool. I always like duck villagers. I think they're all super cute. And I'm really happy to kind of have Ketchup here. I'm just gonna go ahead and invite her to my island. Other than having Ketchup on my island, I think the other duck villager that I had was actually Molly, who is one of my favorite duck villagers. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to have the other duck villagers on my island as well. But of course, if I do want to have only duck villagers on my island, I might have to change the theme of my island and add more waterfalls. That way it will be more duck friendly. Now, even though I want her on my island, for some reason she is not bringing up the message dialogue for that. And as I say it, she did bring it up. So there we go. We are finally able to invite Ketchup to our island. I'm actually excited to see how her house might look. Because initially when I was kind of decorating that cliff where Freya's house was, I did decorate it to look good, as per Freya's house. So I'm not really sure if it will look that good anymore. Either way, if it does not, I'll go ahead and make some changes to accommodate Ketchup right here on my island. I'm pretty happy with this one. I don't think I have anything else for this episode, so I'm just gonna go ahead, collect all the items from each of these rocks, which, to be honest, I have really not done in quite some time now, and get all of these items for a future DIY recipe. Now, before going, here is the message potter for this island. We have a DIY recipe for a peach chair. I'm always pretty happy to get all of these items that you're able to craft only with the fruits. Some of these items are really cute and I really like crafting them. In this case, now that we have got a new villager, I think it's finally time for me to go back to my island and I guess end out this villager hunt. Now that we are able to fill the last position on our island with a new villager, I'll finally be able to go back to decorating. I think it's gonna be pretty fun. We still have a lot of different cliffs that I have yet to decorate. I'm pretty excited to kind of design them and see how the decorating goes. But of course, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to support me more on Patreon, check out the links in my description. And I'll see you guys in the next one.